Hello, hello, and welcome to Anthem Daily, the show for serious creatives. My name is Ian Gareth Hatfield, and I am coming to you from Cape Town, South Africa. And I was just thinking about how life is such a roller coaster. As I'm building this thing, I have days where I think, this is amazing, this is incredible, this is really where I want to be. And then there are other days where I think, what am I doing? This is crazy. But we soldier on and we get excited. So today, I want to talk to you about something that I genuinely want you to think about before you answer. When was the last time someone in your industry discovered you? Not when you worked with someone new, not when you got a referral from a friend, not when someone found you through a mutual connection, actually discovered you, came across your work with no prior knowledge of who you are, was immediately impressed, and reached out. Take a second. For most people, answer is either a while ago or never. That is the correct answer to sit with today. Here's what I want to tell you. Discovery is not a passive event. It is not something that happens when people who deserve it eventually, if they wait long enough and work hard enough and keep their heads down and do good work. Discovery is a direct consequence of visibility, and visibility is a choice. Today is a practical episode. No philosophy, no theory. This is the episode where we talk about what the people who are actually getting known are actually doing and what everyone else is missing. And this is for everyone. Actors, presenters, voice artists, small business owners, entrepreneurs. If you're trying to build a reputation in a competitive field, and if you're watching this, you are, this is your episode. So let's go. Let's start by dismantling a story that this industry, and most industries, frankly, tells itself. The story of the artist who was discovered. You know the narrative. The actor who was spotted in a small production, the singer who posted one cover and woke up famous, the business that went viral overnight, the brand that appeared from nowhere. What those stories never tell you, because it makes a terrible copy, is everything that came before the moment of discovery, the years of showing up, the content that was posted and ignored, the meetings that went nowhere, the applications that were rejected, the craft that was being built in relative obscurity while the world did not yet care. Discovery is almost always preceded by years of visible, consistent, deliberate effort that creates the conditions for it to happen. You don't get discovered. You make yourself discoverable. This is not cynical. This is liberating because it means the outcome is not random. It is not down to luck or timing or who you happen to know. It is down to choices, and you can make different choices starting today. There are 4 layers to being visible in your industry. Most people operate on 1 or 2 of them. The people who are genuinely known, who've built a real reputation, are operating on all 4. Layer 1 is your digital presence. This is the baseline, the floor, not the ceiling. Your social media profiles, your websites if you have one, your presence on platforms that are relevant to your field. This is where people check up on you after they've already heard of you, which means it must exist and it must say something coherent about who you are. For actors specifically, Spotlight, showreels, Backstage, Instagram, TikTok if you're willing to commit to it, YouTube if you have something substantive to say. These are not optional. They are the digital equivalent of a business card, except they're also your portfolio, your personality, and your proof of consistency all in one place. For small businesses, Google Business Profile, fully filled out, regularly updated with actual photos of actual work, reviews actively requested from every satisfied client, a social presence on whichever platform your clients actually use, not whichever platform you enjoy using. These are not the same thing. If your digital presence is embarrassing you, fix it before you do anything else, because everything we're about to talk about will send people there. And if what they find doesn't match the impression you've made, you've wasted the opportunity. Layer two is your content. This is where most people get confused and overwhelmed. The question is not, what should I post? The question is, what do I know that is useful or interesting to the people I want to reach? For an actor, that audience is two groups simultaneously: the industry people who might cast or represent you, and the general audience who might follow and eventually advocate for you. These groups want different things. The industry wants to see craft, professionalism, range, and a point of view. The general audience wants entertainment, insight, and connection. The best actor content sits at the intersection. It is substantive enough to impress a casting director and interesting enough to engage someone who's never thought about acting in their life, which, if you think about it, is exactly what the show is trying to do. Honestly, the biggest content mistake I see actors make is posting for their peers. Behind the scenes content that's only other actors might find interesting, industry inside jokes, technical discussions that assume existing knowledge. Your content should be a door, not a club. Anyone should be able to walk in. For small businesses, and I want to speak to you directly to the creative entrepreneurs watching this, your content is your case for why someone should choose you, not your price, not your availability, not your list of services, your thinking, your approach, the way you see the problem your clients are trying to solve. Show your work, show your process, show what happens behind the scenes, show the before and after, show the moment a client's brief clicked into something real. That content does not just attract followers, it converts strangers into clients. Layer three is your physical presence. Now, this is one that gets forgotten in the age of social media, but it remains, and I say this with some confidence, the most efficient way to accelerate visibility in any professional field. Be in the rooms. Go to the industry events you were not invited to. Attend the screenings, the workshops, the talks, the opening nights, not to network in the traditional business card exchanging, elevator pitch, rehearsed sense of the word, to be genuinely interested in the people and the work. Curiosity is the most attractive quality in any professional context. Walk into a room as someone who wants to learn something, rather than someone who wants to be seen. And paradoxically, you will be seen, because genuine curiosity is rare enough to be noticeable. I've had more valuable professional connections arise from a real conversation at an industry event than from any amount of online engagement. Online visibility gets you in the door, in-person presence makes you memorable. And layer four are your collaborations. This is the layer that the most strategically visible people use relentlessly, and that almost everyone else ignores completely. Every collaboration you do, every project, every creative partnership, every appearance on someone else's platform exposes you to an audience that has already trusted someone else's judgment. And that is an extraordinary, warm introduction. For actors, work with emerging directors, get on short films, do table reads. If you have a skill, offer it to someone who needs it. The point is not the credit on the project. It is the relationship with the director, the producer, the other actors. Those relationships are your long-term visibility infrastructure. For business owners, guest on podcasts, write for industry publications, Partner with complementary businesses on content or events. Appear in someone else's case study. Every one of those puts you in front of a new audience with an existing endorsement built in. The question is not, what can I get from this collaboration? The question is, what can I genuinely contribute? Lead with that, and the visibility takes care of itself. Now, here is the thing that makes all four of these layers work or not work. And it is the most boring, unsexy, consistently underrated principle in the entire business of visibility. And that is consistency. Not brilliance, not virality, not luck or timing or the perfect piece of content, consistency. The algorithm on any platform for any kind of content rewards one thing above everything else: showing up regularly. Not perfectly, not spectacularly, regularly. Because here is what consistency actually does. It trains your audience to expect you. And an audience that expects you will wait for you, look for you, recommend you to others. An audience that has seen your content once or twice, however excellent it was, has no reason to think of you when you disappear for 3 months. The most common failure mode I see is the burst and collapse. Huge surge of content for 2 or 3 weeks, then nothing for 6. Followed by another surge and a caption apologizing for the absence. Stop apologizing and start showing up. The audience doesn't want the apology. They want the content. Consistency over a period of 6 months will do more for your visibility than any individual piece of content, no matter how good it is. This is not an opinion. It is the mechanism by which every algorithm on every platform operates. Post less if you need to, but post consistently. Monthly is better than daily for 2 weeks and then nothing. This week's lab exercise is a visibility audit. And I want you to do this properly, which means honestly. Take 15 minutes today, not eventually, and answer these 4 questions. 1. If someone in your industry searched for you online right now, what would they find? Is it a complete picture of who you are and what you do? Or is it fragments and gaps? Number 2, are you producing any content? If yes, is it consistent? Is it aimed at the right audience? Does it say something specific about what makes you different? If no, what is the first piece you could make this week? Number 3, when did you last put yourself physically in a room with people in your field? Not at a social event, a professional one. If the answer is more than 2 months ago, what is the next one that you could attend? And number 4, when did you last collaborate with someone outside your immediate circle? Is there someone in your field whose audience would benefit from knowing about you? And vice versa? Write these answers down, on paper, in notes, wherever. The act of writing turns a vague intention into an actual plan. And if any of your answers reveal the real gap, that gap is your next priority. Not eventually, this week. Hot take. Ready? Having 1,000 genuinely engaged local followers is worth more than 100,000 random international ones. Before anyone comes for me, let me make a case. There is a visibility metric that the internet has decided is the only one that matters. The follower count, the total number, the big, impressive top-line figure. And I understand the appeal. It looks good. It sounds good at dinner parties. I have 90,000 followers is a more satisfying sentence than I have 800. I have 800 followers in Cape Town who actively refer me to their networks. But which one is actually worth more to your business or your career? The actor with 10,000 international followers who has never been cast in a South African production, or the actor with 800 followers who includes every casting director in the Cape Town market and who gets tagged in every local casting call. The photographer with 50,000 Instagram followers globally, or the one with 1,200 followers who are all professional service clients in Johannesburg and Cape Town who regularly book shoots. Reach is not the same as relevance. Followers are not the same as clients, collaborators, or industry contacts. My verdict? True. A small, highly relevant, locally engaged audience is more commercially viable, in most cases, for most creative professionals at the stage most of us are at, than a large, diffuse, global audience. Know your market, serve your market, count the right numbers. Now, I want to hear yours. How many followers do you have? And more importantly, how many of them are actually relevant to your career or business? Drop it in the comments. Be honest. The numbers might surprise you. This week's feed question, and this one I really want you to answer. What is the one visibility layer, digital presence, content, physical presence, or collaborations that you are most neglecting right now? And what would it look like to take one step on it this week? Comment below. I am reading every one. And if a pattern emerges in the answers, and it usually does, that's going to become an episode. Quick word about Anthem, because this is relevant to everything we've been talking about today. One of the things that makes Anthem different as an agency is that we do not wait for the industry to notice our talent. We build visibility actively. We treat every artist we represent as a brand with a real strategy, real content, real positioning. Because the craft is the foundation, but visibility is the multiplier. And without it, even brilliant work disappears. If you are a performer who is serious about your career and wants to be represented by an agency that understands this, the link is in the bio. And if today felt like it was speaking directly to you, that's not a coincidence. That's visibility working. Tomorrow on Anthem Daily, and I've been looking forward to this one, I'm going to tell you something about what we are building. I cannot tell you everything, not yet, but I will tell you enough to make you very curious about what comes next. See you then. This is Anthem Daily. I'm Ian Gareth Hatfield. Stop waiting to be discovered. Go and be visible.